Now on BBC News, after a 3-year investigation, Chris Clements uncovers allegations of modern slavery aboard UK fishing vessels, hearing the stories of migrant workers who came in search of a better life, only to find hardship, misery and exploitation. Slavery at sea.
The men you're about to meet are all recognised victims of modern slavery. They came to work as fishermen in the UK in search of a better life. Instead, they say they were mistreated, exploited, trafficked. For the first time, they tell their stories.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
We're short of water. We're short of food.
They just want work, work, work.
He doesn't see me as a person. He doesn't care about my life.
We are slaves.
One in 3 UK trawlermen are migrant workers from around the world. Often these workers have families to support back home. Workers like Joel.
I came from Philippines. I got an 8-9 months old baby on that time, so I have to think for her. I have to give her a good picture. To be honest, I was expecting to have a good income because UK is one of the best countries around the world. So coming here, it's a good decision for me.
Joel was an experienced fisherman. In 2012, he secured a job through an agency in the Philippines, working aboard a scallop boat for a fishing company in Scotland. Joel would be joined at the company by other Filipino workers with similar ambitions.
You know, the situation in the Philippines is very, very poor. That's why I'm decided to come here to find a job.
I've been working in the Philippines as an electrician in a power plant company.
In a recruitment agency for the caregiver.
But you had no experience fishing or at sea at all?
No, I don't have any experience in fishing.
Only Joel had fished before, yet here they all were, recruited through agencies, ready to go to sea. The men travelled months apart, but it was the same journey to the same place. Annan, a small town in Scotland's southern coast, and the premises of TN Trawlers. Its owners, the Nicholson family, have lived in the town for generations. They're in with the bricks. Its lead director, Tom Nicholson. He owns much of the harbour here and lives in a substantial compound on the waterfront. At the time, he ran a fishing operation worth over £4 million. The Filipino men were here to work for him on his boats.
After we arrived, one of the guys asked, where are your documents, your passport, your contract, your everything? So they told us to hand it over to them. We handed over all documents to them.
And did you see those documents again?
No, I don't. We don't get it back until the police took it back from me.
His contract to work aboard a vessel called the Matanya. But the company put him on a different boat, the Philomena.
So that's the first one that's like, oh, this is already like something fishy for me, like it's not right on my contract. Because if something happens to you and you're not in your boat, what are you going to do? You're missing. But I'm still working because I was hoping to get the same money.
Joel went to sea, but the others who'd arrived, despite being contracted to fish, were told to stay ashore, cramped in a caravan. Their visas didn't allow them to work on land, but the company had them doing jobs at the yard and at Tom Nicholson's house. Not what they'd signed up for.
I stayed in Annan for almost 3 weeks.
What were you doing in those 3 weeks?
Painting, and we cleaned the blocks, power blocks for the boat.
Sometimes Saturday and Sunday, they send me to the house of Tom Nicholson and their apartments to clean the garden.
Joel was at sea, where he soon found himself working way beyond his contracted hours.
The boat, the rotation is like 9 hours work, 3 hours rest. And then after your 3 hours, you go back again 9 hours. So on that 3 hours, you have to take, like, if you're hungry, you have to eat. If you want to wash before you go to bed, you have to wash yourself. So ideally, we only get like less than 2 hours sleep.
Joel was contracted to work a 48-hour week, but he said he would regularly work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, breaching UK regulations on working hours and rest time.
It's like I can't even get up to go to work because my body is so exhausted. But I can't complain because I'm not thinking about anyone with me other than my colleague at work, because they're also suffering like I am, because the operation keeps continuing. They won't stop.
The other Filipino men were soon at sea aboard TN boats. All the men interviewed by this programme say they were overworked and sleep deprived. On the boats, they said, supplies of food and fresh drinking water ran low.
See, no water. No water. We ran out of water on the ship. But the fishing still continues, dredging the scallops, taking them up, shake them. You see your sweat a lot, so you're so thirsty. Our throat was so dry.
Joel says he and the deck crew would eat tomatoes to quench their thirst, and when those ran out, they would drink diluting juice without water.
Oh, it was so horrible, and I pity to myself. They are treating us like not human. No enough food, no enough water, and they just want work. And when we landed on the pier, then another skipper come again, just get some food, and go back again to the sea.
At TN, Joel was earning around £660 a month, the equivalent of £3.44 an hour. Well short of the UK minimum wage, but that didn't apply to trawlermen at the time. Human trafficking is defined as the movement of a person from one place to another with the intent to exploit them.
Because of the transit visas, these workers have to live and stay on the fishing vessel because they don't have immigration status. They're effectively trapped, and because they're worried about their immigration status and they don't want to lose their job because they're from countries where even a low under minimum wage salary for the UK is quite a lot of money, they're in this vulnerable position where they can be coerced and basically find themselves in these forced labour situations, which we come across on a very regular basis.
22nd of August, 2012. It was night time. Joel was at sea on the Philomena, trawling for scallops north of Ireland. He was asked to repair a broken spring on the ship's heavy equipment. The sea was choppy, the waves high.
I know the rotation of the equipments in the boat where I was working. So as soon as I get up, I see the metal bars falling right away. So I have to jump in the boat. Because if I don't jump on myself, on that time, I'm crushed with this metal bar and dead. When I jump, the metal bar still hit me on my back, and then my head hit the deck. And after that, I don't remember anything.
Joel was unconscious for 10 to 15 minutes. He'd sustained a head injury, one that required medical care.
When I wake up, I have bandage on my head. I'm worried of myself because if I'm gonna die, if something bad really happens to me, I will not be suffering. It's my family will be suffering. This is so wrong now. I have to see a doctor.
The skipper that night was Tom Jr., son of the company owner, Tom Nicholson. He called his father for advice as Joel lay inside, bleeding. They then exchanged a series of text messages. On Tom Sr.'s instruction, the fishing continued.
We are still working. This happened to me, 8:30.
Till now we are in the fishing ground.
It was a full 11 hours before Tom Jr. turned the boat around and headed for port. The boat finally docked at Troon in Ayrshire and Joel was taken to hospital. His wound was glued shut more than 22 hours after the injury. The doctor who treated him said the scar will be permanent. Joel quit TN Trawlers. It was his last day working for Tom Nicholson. Police intervened. In December 2012, detectives entered TN Properties. Eleazar and Gilbert were taken from vessels. Javito was found working at the yard.
It was a happy day. I saw many policemen, we are here to rescue you. You are the victim of human trafficking. You are maltreated.
At least 18 Filipino men came off TN vessels and were referred to the Home Office's National Referral Mechanism, the NRM, the system for determining whether a person has been the victim of human trafficking or modern slavery. The Home Office examined evidence from the police and other agencies and checked the Filipinos' accounts against key indicators. These include restriction of movement, injuries, excessive hours, no days off, being forced or deceived into working in poor conditions, and little or no payment. Each of the men was recognised by the Home Office as a victim of modern slavery.
There's good employers in the UK that bring in migrant workers and are doing the right thing and have always followed the rules. And then the reality is the immigration issue has basically created this power imbalance that means if you're a ruthless and greedy operator, you can very easily find workers who are in a very vulnerable position and can't and won't speak out when they're being exploited and abused.
The men would begin a long wait for justice, as TN Trawlers was charged with offences and put through the courts. At the same time, TN Trawlers and its sister companies kept operating. The company moved its recruiting ground from East Asia to West Africa and to India.
My name is Vishal and last name is Sharma. Vishal Sharma, I'm from India, Punjab state.
And how old are you, Vishal?
Nearly 30.
Vishal was an experienced seafarer. In November 2017, he arrived in London on a transit visa to join an ocean-going Belgian tanker, the Vaasmünster. He was to work on board for 15 months in the engine room.
They give me like a contract, they make contract for the gas tanker, Vaasmünster they call, ship name. They told me, is that your ship here? You're going this ship.
The meeting point was at Milford Haven in Wales. But his agent called from India and told him instead to travel to the south coast of England. There, he was met by two men.
So you arrive at the harbour.
Yeah.
And you see the ship.
No ship, a boat in it.
What boat was it?
It's fishing boat.
The Vaasmünster really was waiting near Milford Haven, but the vessel Vishal was taken to at Southwark was not the Vaasmünster. Instead, it was a much smaller boat, a TN scallop trawler called the Nordsee. This is where he was told he would work and live.
I'm not fisherman. Why I'm working there? It's not my ship. The skipper told me you have the not proper papers. If I call to the police, they catch you, and you are going to jail because you are illegally come there. That's why scaring. If I go back here, I have nothing.
Vishal says that out of fear of the police and deportation, he got to work. The story resembles the Filipinos' accounts. Vishal claims food was scarce, the hours were excessive, and he was never paid for any of it. All this despite having never fished a day in his life.
Did you not complain? Did you not?
Where I am complaining? You are in the sea. Yeah, You are working on the boat, yeah? You are in the sea.
Two Ghanaian men, Augustus and Gershon, were also working in the TN fleet at the time. Each of them was earning £850 a month and £50 cash in hand on board. Again, though not illegal, this was well under UK minimum wage.
The job itself is not easy. If you want to have a little rest, you must make sure that we finish the job. Otherwise, if you are not finishing, no rest.
One day we went fishing. We short of water. We short of food. You see, skipper have water at the Captain Bridge. He have spare food over there. So if the food finish, he have food. So sometimes we used to climb up, take some of the water or take some of the food.
We are slaves.
Did you ever feel like leaving?
Yeah, I feel like leaving. But who am I going to call? I don't know anywhere. I don't know anybody.
6th of December 2017. Vishal was working aboard the Nordsee, fishing in the English Channel. Nearby, Gershon and Augustus were aboard another TN boat, the Sea Lady.
That day is a bad weather. The boats are going up, coming down, and the wind.
The sea is rough. It's very bad.
You can't even sit on your bed. You can't even sleep.
And then we had a fault. I rushed there to save the situation.
So Augustus is in the middle. The conveyor is not moving. And the gear is coming up again. If you didn't jump, maybe you'll kill yourself.
So all of a sudden, the boat got capsized, like rolling. So I was trying to save myself. I hold one of the dredges.
The dredge coming, if Augustus said, I jump and go and stand the back, and Augustus came and fell down with the head.
I could not see anything anymore until I'm sitting in the mess with a lot of blood flowing.
Augustus had suffered a head injury. The Sea Lady turned and headed for Portsmouth, where he was taken to the hospital. Gershon, Augustus and their foreign crewmates were removed from the boat by police. The head injury sparked another criminal investigation into TN trawlers. In 2022, a decision was made to take no further action in Vishal's case. Prosecutors also dropped human trafficking allegations relating to Augustus. They are considering whether other crimes were committed against him at sea. In October 2022, 10 years after Joel's injury, Tom Nicholson finally appeared at court. He and the company were charged with failing to get swift care for Joel. Nicholson was also charged with withholding his Filipino workers' passports, as well as other documents. In court, for the first time, we heard details of the text exchange between father and son on the day of Joel's accident.
Is there any port I could drop him off at, or just Troon? He's saying he feels dizzy and his eyes are going yellow. But they do that all the time with these Filipinos. I don't want something to happen to him, but don't really want to stop fishing. Is it too much hassle to get a Coast Guard out?
Tom Sr. replied,
No, do not call him. He'll be fine if bleeding stopped. Give him hot drink and painkillers. Tell him you'll check it in the morning.
Aye, okay. He's crying now because I won't take him in. Fishing going okay. I've got 475 aboard. That was 4 days fishing at 9 p.m.
The next morning, Tom Jr. sends a flurry of texts to his father saying he's bringing Joel to shore. His response,
whatever.
So that was a blow-by-blow account.
Yeah, this is the first time I heard the text message conversations. It's not acceptable because we work hard. But that's the thing. He doesn't see me as a person. He doesn't care about my life. He doesn't care about his crew. he was a devil. He was a devil with the human image.
Nicholson admitted the first charge relating to Joel. The Crown accepted his not guilty plea for the passport charges, which meant the men didn't get the chance to testify in court. The Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service said it's fully committed to tackling human trafficking. It said it recognises the time taken in dealing with these complex and challenging matters has been difficult for those affected, and it deals with every case on its own individual facts and circumstances. We contacted the Home Office. A UK government spokesperson said the country has clear laws against labour exploitation abuses. It added that the Border Force works to ensure action is taken against those who exploit vulnerable people in our waters. TN Trawlers is now a dormant company. The Philomena is no longer fishing. Sea Lady and Nordsee have been renamed. Over the course of our 3-year investigation, we've heard allegations of labour exploitation, mistreatment, and claims of modern slavery at companies run by Tom Nicholson. We put these allegations in writing to the TN director and his son, Tom Jr. In a statement, TN Group said, "We dispute any suggestion that we mistreated our many workers. All foreign workers were recruited through reputable and established agencies. The overwhelming experience of our workers was that they were well treated and well remunerated. We dispute many of the accounts put to us. We always provided food and accommodation to our workers, and they were always free to come and go when ashore. We absolutely refute any allegation of modern slavery or human trafficking." Referring to Joel's head injury, it said, "We did not always get everything right, and we deeply regret what happened to one of our employees in 2012 when we made the wrong judgment call on an injury while we were at sea. After administering first aid and medication, he was brought ashore for medical treatment, but we regret the delay and we fell short on that occasion. We've accepted responsibility, compensated, and we apologise to that individual." Tom Nicholson Sr. didn't answer some of the questions we put to him about Joel's pay or Vishal ending up in the wrong boat. So we paid him a visit at his yard.
We're looking to speak to Tom Nicholson. We're from the BBC, we just want to ask him a couple of questions.
He doesn't want to speak to us.
We've got some documents to show him.
Alright, what's the
Documents that shown that he was underpaying his foreign workers, £3.44 an hour, that's not including the overtime. We've got a letter of invitation here for a man who was supposed to be working on a ocean-going tanker. He ended up on one of his fishing boats, so we'd like to put that to him. Mr Nicholson, come out and have a chat with us. We'll do it over the intercom. We'll come and have a chat. Just want to show you some documents, Mr Nicholson. He's in there, he's shut the door. Okay, let's get out of here.
The Filipino men in this story have leave to remain in the UK. They can work, provide for their loved ones, all they wanted in the first place. The Ghanaians' leave to remain has expired. They stayed to get justice and now face going home with nothing. And for all the men who've just told you their stories, the experience of working for TN Trawlers and with the British justice system has left a bitter taste.
So this is how your UK law is done. You favor the wealthy people and you don't care about the poor. It's just like an image for all of you that you have the law.
What would you say to TN trawlers about the way they treated you?
Don't treat people like that because they are people, not animal. Until I die, maybe I'm still remember what they doing to us.
If you feel distressed by the references in this programme, please speak to a health professional or an organisation that offers support, such as Befrienders Worldwide at www.befrienders.org.